Hi and welcome back. We are going to go ahead and hopefully think we have 2 more episodes for the barbecue sauces that we have. It's 108 degrees outside right now, so we're going to go ahead and instead of grilling this next one, I am going to go ahead and put it in the crock pot. I have a venison roast that we're going to go ahead and put in the crock pot and actually make a roast out of it. You can use this sauce on like venison steaks, ribs, whatever else that you go out and gather. But because I want this to be a roast and I want this to be one of those types of roasts that you don't need teeth to chew on, we'll go ahead and do it in the crock pot. We're going to do this on low and slow for 12 hours. Since this is going to be a multiple day video, you're going to see me in multiple shirts. I just got off of work. We're going to go ahead and set this up so we can go ahead and have it for breakfast tomorrow. Alright, so this is called venison sauce. Back to the steaks, you can fry them in a skillet, cook them under your broiler flame or over a barbecue grill. Whichever you do, first dip them in this old favorite sauce. It does not detract from the original flavor of the meat but gives additional zest. Chop the following fresh herbs: 1 teaspoon each of marjoram, I can't say that word, rosemary, sage, and thyme. I do have these in dried form. Add 1 pint of salad oil. I'm guessing today's equivalent would be 2 cups of olive oil. 2/3 pint of wine vinegar. That would probably be 1.5-ish or 1 1/3 cups of vinegar. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. 1/3 cup of parsley. I have it dried. And garlic. Let your conscience be your guide, but plenty. Which is the 1947 equivalent of "May your ancestors scream if you add too much." Mix thoroughly, add salt and pepper to taste, and let the mixture stand overnight. Dip the venison chops or steaks in the sauce and cook, turning once or twice until medium done. That's it. Let's go ahead and get all the spices together and everything else. Here, we're going to put it in the crock pot. I am going to go ahead and half this because my roast is small and we don't really need that much. So let's go ahead and add the 1 cup of oil. Two-thirds cup of the wine vinegar. And since we're halving this will be 1/2 teaspoon each of the marjoram, rosemary, sage, and thyme. I'm just going to go ahead and palm it. About 1/2 teaspoon. Rosemary. time. Now sage I've got growing out front, so let me go ahead and grab some of those leaves. Okay, here I got some leaves. Go ahead and chop this up. Okay, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Oh, ow. Actually 1 tablespoon because we're having this, that's right. Okay, and 1/3 cup, so 1/6 of the cup, about a palm full of parsley flakes. Not that much. Okay, and enough garlic to make my ancestors cry. Which is not much left. I need to make more. We're going to go ahead and mix this around a little bit. Make sure that the meat is coated all around with not only the herbs but also the oil. And we'll go ahead and cover this up. See what it looks like tomorrow. It is the next morning. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. I love the color on this. It took the color of the Worcestershire sauce and made everything a nice brown. It's coming out in pieces, which is a good thing, because look at this. Very tender. Might need to chew it up a little bit, but I was going for a don't need teeth type of feel. But can you imagine this with some fresh sauerkraut on a Reuben? This is the venison. The ingredients that it has me cooking this in is kind of like Italian dressing with Worcestershire sauce added to it. But you can definitely make tacos with this. You can make sandwiches. You can eat it as it is. Let me find a spoon. Put some of the sauce on here to keep it moist. And let's go ahead and try some of this out. See if we have accomplished what we were set out to do. Not using the barbecue, but using the sauce as a crock pot type sauce. Can definitely taste the vinegar in this, so it's not overpowering, but you can taste the wine in it. Does need a little bit salt, so if you want to add some salt to this. Didn't put enough garlic in it for my tastes, but that was my fault. Maybe a little bit more pepper, or some black pepper added to this as well while it's cooking. Would give it a little bit more spice to it, but it's very basic. You can add onions to this if you wish. I might be doing that with the next time I do this, because it's coming. It's not quite deer season yet. It feels like it's deer season with all the deer that I see trying to get into my garden. But that's one of the reasons why we're doing this freezer clean out, is because we need to be able to have enough room for whenever it is hunting season. But this is very moist to be a venison roast. Another day, another recipe. So this one is actually one of the more complicated ones. They have a lot of ingredients. In this book, it's called Circle J barbecue sauce. It is also looking like it is Okay, so while we're waiting for that to simmer for that 45 minutes, we're going to make one other during this time. It's labeled barbecue sauce, just like just about every other recipe that we have here. But it looks like it's going to be more like a hot sauce than anything else, like a really thick hot sauce. It's 2 tablespoons of lard or shortening. We have lard. 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, because of the diets and restrictions and everything, we're going to make this keto friendly and diabetic friendly and celiac friendly. I'm going to show you how to use xanthan gum, which has 0 carbs, it's gluten-free, wheat-free, to be able to use this as a thickener. Okay, now it does say 4 small cans of hot sauce. Again, no ounces, no cups, no anything. So we're going to go ahead and use the peppers that we used before, my hatch chili peppers and the chipotles, to be able to combine it to try to get that same, I guess, hotness, pepperiness, something. Okay, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm seeing a theme here. 1 1/2 small bottle of chili powder. Again, no ounces, tablespoons, anything. We're going to use the paprika again. I'm going to use about maybe a teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon. Depends on your, this is going to be high. Depends on your taste. A few drops of Tabasco sauce. And 2 cloves, whole or powdered equivalent. We have whole cloves, so we'll be able to at least add some sort of something to this besides heat. Heat fat until very hot, add the flour and stir until slightly brown. So it's wanting us to make a roux. Like I said, we're not going to be able to do that. Now, we can actually omit the lard since we're doing it a different way, because all that lard is to be able to fry the flour. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and omit the lard and the flour and use the xanthan gum on everything else. Add the rest of the ingredients and stir until thick. If too thick, add a little water, but it should not be a thin sauce. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and put this on low initially. Okay, Okay, 4 cans of hot sauce. I'm gonna eyeball it. This is my hatch chili, relish, and we're gonna go ahead and add some chipotle peppers as well. If you want to, you can go ahead and mix this up really smooth. That should be okay. I'm guessing that's about equivalent to 4 cans. I don't have any measurements for this. One tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. It's about a tablespoon. Half a small bottle of chili powder. It's about a half a teaspoon. A few drops of Tabasco sauce. And 2 cloves. Almost looks thick enough already. We may not need any xanthan gum. In order to thicken this up, okay, you're going to want to sprinkle xanthan gum on there, little bits at a time until you get the desired thickness. Xanthan gum does take heat and it does take time to thicken. You don't want to overdo it on the xanthan gum. I'm going to taste this real quick. Okay, I'm not liking this. Let's see if more Worcestershire sauce will save this. I'm gonna make this for y'all, but like I said, I am not liking this. I don't like hot, and this is hot. I really did not like that. So what I did is I dumped it. I know, wasteful food, because there was no saving that. I'm just using the hatch chilies. I did not put the chipotle chilies in here, and it's much better. So if depending on the type of chili you like, go ahead and use that. The chipotle is fine on its own if it's used in other things, but we like the hatch chilies a lot better. They're not as hot, but they're very flavorful, at least to us. Now that we have 3 of the 4 sauces that we're going to be doing today, we're going to be finishing off today with what's called barbecue marinade. This is more something that you would brine the meat into overnight to flavor the meat before you cook or barbecue. Let me go ahead and read this to you. 1 cup of Zinfandel. Now this is a wine. I don't have that. I have red wine, so we're going to go ahead and use that. 1 cup of olive oil. 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, 1 bay leaf, 2 or 3 sprigs of rosemary, 2 or 3 sprigs of thyme, and 2 or 3 sprigs of marjoram. We have dried. So 2 or 3 teaspoons. So we're going to do 2 teaspoons each. Mix together and set away in the refrigerator. This preparation will keep indefinitely. I'm not too sure about that. And will do for several barbecue occasions. The herbs may be strained out after the mixture is well flavored. Cover steaks with sauce, I'm guessing meat, any meat. And that stand in a covered dish from 6 to 36 hours before barbecuing. The sauce may also be used for basting when the meat is on the grill. Apply with a long stalk of celery using the leaves on the end of the swab. The celery also gives a flavor. You don't have to do that. Celery is one of the things that we don't really have in this house because I'm the only one that eats it. I like celery. Grandpa can't stand celery. So, only whenever necessary. Now, since we're not cooking this, we're going to be mixing this into a bowl, and we're going to be using this to marinate the meat that we have for barbecue. Have you ever had that situation where you thought you never had it, that you were out of something, so you go ahead and buy it, and you do a freezer clean out, and all of a sudden you find 4 bags of it in the bottom of your freezer? Yeah, we've got chicken. We're going to be getting rid of a lot of chicken this week. I have Merlot. I don't have Zinfandel. This I think I used in another recipe, I think last year. If I can get the cork out, that would be great. There we go. So it's calling for 1 cup. I'm guessing any wine will do. One cup olive oil. Garlic. A bay leaf. Some parsley, like I said, about 2 teaspoons. It's more than 2 teaspoons, but hey, we're not measuring anymore. 2 teaspoons of marjoram. And Grandma needs more time. Grandma's trying to grow time. It's not working. Okay, whip this up. It says leave in the fridge. Let everything marry. Now, if you want this to infuse a little faster, you can go ahead and heat it up on the stove top, but don't let it come to a boil. And if you do that, you can actually strain out the herbs, because the oil and the herbs will infuse along with the wine, and it'll actually come out with a stronger taste. Notice I'm not adding any salt or pepper to this. The salt goes on the meat. So here I have some random stuff out of the freezer. Like I said, we got a lot of chicken. There's some beef, and I think there is a random pork chop in here somewhere. I think I had 1 left. So might as well just cook that up, make it a lunch for this week. And here it is. See? We're going to go ahead and put this over the meat and let it marinate for several hours before we barbecue. And there we have it. We have a lot of barbecue chicken along with my lone pork chop that I found in the freezer. We'll go ahead and package this up and eat this for the week. This is the simplest way and the easiest way to cook for the week without heating up the house. It is 108 outside, y'all. But the heat index of about 113. So thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.